The first thing that is my job as a victim advocate is to make sure that the survivor is in a safe place. And then from there, if the survivor comes to us and says that they would like to even file a complaint or maybe just speak with the victim advocate, we let them know about the different options that are available to them should they choose to file an actual sexual assault claim. We offer these services, these advocacy services, on a non-clinical standpoint. So we're not psychologists, we're not psychiatrists. Our typical day-to-day is just really non-clinical advocacy resources. And when we're not busy assisting with sexual assault cases, we are also a good resource for if an individual wants to talk with us about filing a sexual harassment complaint. If we do not, and we're in peacetime is what I normally call it, we're busy making sure that we stay on top of our 32 hours of continued education. We also work with other victim advocates to make sure that their packets get to our program managers for boards every year. And so we have to get re-credentialed every 2 years. And then we're also facilitating great training here in the 377 Theater Sustainment Command. I think for me, the biggest takeaway for being a victim advocate is because even though I am not a survivor myself personally, I am an individual who enjoys interacting with people from all walks of life, and being a victim advocate gives us the ability to do that because everybody has a story and everybody deals with such traumatic events differently. And so for me, because I love interacting with people, that's really, it doesn't get any more rewarding than that. We are basically the biggest resource out there to make sure that we foster a climate through training and through different interactions to make sure that the climate is totally free of any sexual assault, sexual harassment, and through comprehensive response. The 80-hour course teaches you all about victim response, how to provide emotional support, teaches you about how to find all of the different resources in your local area to help support the survivor. So the training is really focused on assisting and making sure that we do everything possible to assist the survivor in their process of healing after such a traumatic event. For me, the biggest thing is you have to have compassion and empathy because you're working with individuals who have just survived what I think we all could agree would be a very traumatic event. And so I think the biggest takeaway is that you want to have compassion and empathy. And the other biggest takeaway that I learned becoming a victim advocate is that you have to be open, ready, and willing to listen, because once you interact with a survivor and you're taking on that case and you are providing advocacy services, the survivor drives everything from the conversation to resources to legal representation. We are there for the survivors. Because I am a people person, I'm always thinking about what if that was me, or what if that was somebody that I love that experienced that type of trauma. And for me as victim advocates, because we're the first line of defense for the survivors, first impressions matter. And what you don't want to happen is you encounter a survivor that has just gone through a traumatic event like a sexual assault, and you know that when they come to you as the victim advocate that they're probably already dealing with the emotional, psychological, and the physical impact. And just imagine, I just kind of like to put myself in their shoes, because just imagine if I'm coming to you as a survivor and I'm wanting assistance and I'm timid and I'm open and closed-minded. That could be the moment right there that we lose a soldier, and it could be to suicide, it could be to, anything. So I'm always very cautious on a personal level to be the kind of victim advocate that I would want someone to be if I was on the other end of the spectrum as a survivor. So that's what it means to me to be a victim advocate.